welcome back to Yoshi Entertainment, everybody. So just recently, apparently, all of Twitter, X, YouTube, and TikTok has lost all of their natural God-given mind. Well, not everybody, but some people have. So the internet exploded. Like I said, it was the trifecta of social media platforms between Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube exploded when the beef between SZA and some random girl from TikTok by the name of Maya Farley was put all over social media, splooshed all over social media, if you will. Now, apparently, allegedly, this all goes back to some time ago during a performance that SZA was having when, for whatever reason, a bunch of these people who call themselves fans, which I'm going to go ahead and make it clear to y'all who don't know this, these are not fans if you do this to somebody, but they all took it upon themselves to make signs, to make a meme, if you will, that said SZA Wack, and basically post them, I guess, or hold them up, whatever they did during this performance. Or they had this hashtag going around for quite some time, and she made it quite clear that that did hurt her. She did not like that. She didn't appreciate it at all. They tried to pass it off as a joke. There's nothing funny about that, about calling somebody whack. I know a lot of people tried to downplay it, but that's like textbook gaslighting, if you ask me. It's all, oh, not that big serious until somebody calls you whack or your mama whack. But anyways, she made it clear that she did not like it. She did not find it funny. She didn't think it was a joke. If these people were truly her fans, they would not have done that, like I said before. She also did try to briefly express that it messed up her mental health and it messed up her emotional health, because you go out here, you're busting your butt to do whatever it is that you do for a living, performing, singing, whatever, and then thousands of these people who paid their own money to come and see you then do something this immature and stupid and childish. I don't care, like I said, how you try to slice it. It was immature, it was childish, and it was disrespectful. Another thing I don't understand about this generation, if y'all don't like these people, why are y'all going to see their music? Why are y'all going to see them perform? Why are you buying tickets to their shows and listening to what they put out? That makes you the dummy. You do realize that, right? You're going to these people's performances. You're calling them whack because you don't think that they're talented, but you bought a ticket to see them. And those tickets are not cheap. So I'm failing to understand where the common sense was exerted in this situation by these people. Like I said, I don't know where this generation gets off on doing stuff like this, being disrespectful, throwing stuff at people mid-performance. If you don't like them, stop going to see them. It's as simple as that. But I guess that's too much right, or too much for these people to wrap their heads around. And paying that much money, like I said, to go see somebody just to do something like that, low-key, high-key, is bully behavior. It's disgusting. But anyways, getting back on track. So I guess finally that had kind of died down a little bit and everything was going great. But for whatever reason, this random girl from TikTok by the name of Maya decided to once again take it upon herself, after I guess she had purchased a ticket to go and see SZA perform, to basically revive that stupid hashtag, that stupid sign. She posted it on her, account, and then she tagged SZA. So a lot of people were saying, okay, well, why did she respond? There's thousands of people who tag these celebrities. And that's true, but just because there are so many people that tag them throughout the day, multiple days a week, does not mean that they don't see some of this goofy stuff that people be tagging them in. Everybody was real quick to say, well, why did she respond? She didn't have to respond or whatever. But once again, this is a word, a hashtag, a meme that was tied to something that, like I said, hurt her deeply, that she did not appreciate, that she made it clear that she didn't find funny or a joke, that, like I said, messed up her mental health and her emotional health. She told people this, if I'm not mistaken. And this girl did this on purpose because she's a bully. Low-key, that's psychopathic behavior, if you want to be really honest, because she put this out there. She knew what was behind this. And then SZA DM'd her because, that's what you do. You privately message somebody when you want to keep something private. She DM'd her and basically said, I want you to take that down because that's not funny to me. It's hurtful and I don't appreciate it. And what made me scratch my head and kind of disturbed me is how people really try to make it seem like SZA just went in on this girl in the DMs. They really tried to make it seem like she ripped her to shreds or was trying to bully her for what she said, and even back this girl up for what she did. Yes, everybody has a freedom, to post what they want to post or say what they want to say, although those freedoms are still regulated by the platform that you post them on. And there's also freedom of consequences. I've said that before on this channel. Yes, you can say what you want, but you better be ready to take the smoke from whoever you said it about once it leaves your raggedy lips. SZA was actually very nice to that girl in her DMs when she responded to her and tried to get her to take that down. And all she did was gaslight this woman and then try to low-key bring her age into it, talking about, oh, you're 15 years older than me. Why are you going back and forth with me over something that I said that was actually quite disrespectful, and refused to apologize for it. Tell me that y'all are a generation, or that these people like her are a generation of individuals who lack empathy and compassion and don't know how to humble themselves, swallow their pride, and admit when they're wrong and apologize without telling me, because that's what it's giving. Like I said, people tried to make it seem like SZA had a meltdown or whatever, or she was just going crazy on this girl in the DMs. Like I said, she was actually quite nice to her, trying to get her to understand. That's the only thing that I say in this situation she really shouldn't have done. The moment that she realized this girl had no empathy and was not going to apologize for what she did and did not see any wrong in what she did, she should have shut the conversation down and just stopped. Because trying to talk to somebody like this girl is like talking to the side of the wall. And it's really sad, this generation we live in, where people, like I said, they really lack a sense of accountability. They lack a sense of compassion and respect. All she had to do was apologize and say, you know what, I'm sorry if I was an actual fan. I wouldn't have posted that about you because you've made it pretty clear that you didn't find that as a joke. And if I really respected you and looked at you like a human being, I wouldn't have done that to you. And another thing that they have going on these days, I guess, like I've mentioned, and I don't have any allegiance to these celebrities, but I'm not just going to slander them, of course, because they're still human beings. They're entitled to their privacy. They have feelings, people have been pointing that out. They're treating these people, these celebrities, like they don't have feelings. And I feel like the usual rebuttal is, oh, well, they're famous. Go cry into your pile of money. Well, just because they have money doesn't mean, once again, that they don't have feelings, or that you could just disrespect them any way that you please. I feel like a lot of these people low-key are jealous or mad because these people have so much money, and they feel like it gives them a reason or an excuse or a justification to be mean, rude, and disrespectful. Oh, you have so much money. You're so famous. I wish I had what you had. Like I said, little 15 minutes of fame that little Miss Goofy, immature, disrespectful, tried to get by doing what she did. And because they don't have it, they feel like they have the right to disrespect these people. So very wrong. Like I said, we live in a really sad world. Once again, I want to point out, two things, not just one, two things. Whenever people were saying that she was wrong for what she did to SZA and how she handled that situation, people were bringing up old tweets that SZA had made, and I can't get over the whataboutisms, if you will, and people digging up people's past and throwing it at them whenever somebody's being held accountable for their actions against said person. And then the fact that, once again, SZA was actually very nice. Like, if you read, the little Twitter thread, or not the Twitter thread, the thread of, DM messages that they had back and forth, she was actually very nice. Some of these celebrities would have cussed that girl out, okay? They would have talked about her mama. They could have cursed her life. And I know that might seem off the deep end, but with some of the stuff that some of these celebrities are off into, you best believe, they could have cursed her life. They could have cussed her out. They could have hurt her feelings for real. But that's not how she did it. That's not how she handled it. I even might dare say maybe she was trying to do something different or handle it in a more mature way than the past her would have handled it. But, you see where that went, how everybody responded to that. And another thing, these people, like this girl on this TikTok, they know who to mess with. You know what I'm saying? They know who to come after, which is sad, because had this been somebody else, this situation would have went completely different. There were people pointing out, had this been one of y'all's favorite K-pop stars that she said that about, these people would have went in on that girl, okay? Because some people, those K-pop fandoms, they don't play when it comes to those stars, okay? Had this been Beyonce, oh my goodness, the Beehive would have stung her into oblivion, so to speak. They would have sent her death threats. They probably would have tried to dox her too. Wouldn't nobody be standing by her side if that would have been Beyonce that she would have said that about. Even people like Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. If she had said something remotely that disrespectful about them, their music, or their performances, oh, she would have been all over the internet crying about, oh, they're sending goons after me, allegedly. I'm just saying. I was a little concerned, I'm going to be real honest, and very disturbed because of how many people, like I said, was downplaying and gaslighting what actually happened. Talking about, oh, it's not that bad. Like, oh, you're a whack. What is that supposed to mean? Forgetting that this person is a celebrity, once again. And it's not just this girl. It was multiple people at one point in time that started this stupid bull crap, this immature, disrespectful bull crap, and people were jumping on the train, if you will. And for all we know, her doing this again, her rehashing this, could have started that all over again, which is why she respectfully told the stupid girl to stop. Now, of course, you had, like I've been mentioning, the stereotypical response from people like her. Oh, like, why are you coming after me? Basically trying to make herself the victim. And then talking about she was sicking people on her because one of SZA's friends allegedly DM'd this girl. And I don't know who in this world that cares about somebody isn't going to want to pull somebody over to the side who did something publicly disrespectful to said person who they care about. So you can miss me with that. That's just a natural response from somebody, like I said, that cares about whoever it is that you're trying to publicly disrespect. And they have the right to do that, just like you call yourself having the right to publicly disrespect her. And then what made me scratch my head in confusion the most, which really threw me for a loop, is when she said, like I said, first of all, that SZA was trying to sick people on her, which, like I said, SZA, from what I can understand, is not even that kind of celebrity. But they got some celebrities out there, like I said. If she would have tried this goofy mess with, they definitely would have put her on blast. They would have been the ones to leak the DMs to their followers and then been like, have a field day now, you guys. And their fans would have came after her, but she didn't do that. This girl, Maya, was the one who leaked the DMs. So first of all, if anybody's coming after her on SZA's behalf, if that was actually the case, guess whose fault that is? Her, for being stupid enough to expose the conversation that she had between the two of them to try and make fun of her after disrespecting her and then refusing to take accountability and apologize for what she did. She only made herself look bad to people who have common sense and a sense of empathy. So all of this smoke that she's claiming she's getting, it's smoke that she literally signed up for. Literally, like, if you can't handle the fire, stay out of the kitchen. I've never seen a group of individuals, a generation of individuals, that will start mess and then be the victim, make themselves the victim, and cry about the repercussions and the consequences of them starting the mess. I really don't understand it. If you didn't want the smoke, why did you do what you did? Why did you tag her? You tagged her because you wanted her to see it. And then you exposed the DMs because you wanted to make fun of it and get, like I said, your little 15 minutes of clout. But now, because you might be facing some backlash, you want to whine about being a victim. My goodness. So like I said before, I was a bit concerned and very disturbed at a lot of people who were, like I said, defending this girl, talking about, oh, it wasn't that bad, she should get over herself, blah, 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 and all the stuff that they were just doing to show how many people are really messed up and sick in the head. But then whenever I went to TikTok to see what some people on TikTok were saying, my faith was a little bit restored, like by 1.5% in humanity by the plethora of individuals who were explaining this situation for what it really is and really saying, like I said, what the problem is and that this Maya girl was the one who was really in the wrong if we're going to be honest. Like I said, the only thing that I said SZA shouldn't have done was go back and forth with her because, like I said, it gave her fodder for clout for her to have. But anyways, let's take a look at some of these videos and I'll be back and forth to explain what I agree with and to point out once again what I agree with, what the problem was, who was in the right, who was in the wrong, etc. Take a look.
Wait. I'll respond to you because I see this a couple times, but I'm going to pick on your ass. I'm going to pick you just like SZA picked that girl because y'all don't understand what it's like to have thousands of people say the same thing. I want you to take the one thing you're good at, which is probably nothing because you're saying shit like this. But, pick something you're good at. Talking shit on the internet, right? Imagine if thousands of people came on your page and said, you're whack as hell. Do you think that you would be happy? I want you to stop because at the moment you have to add shit, you're not understanding. Thousands of people come to your page and tell you your favorite thing to do that you think you are exceptional at, that you make money at, that pays your bills, that has saved your entire family from poverty. People come on your page and say you whack. And let's say you finally see one of them. And so you go to them and you like, stop saying that shit. And they come up to you and they're like, I'm just a kid. Take a joke. This is my livelihood. This is my livelihood. I eat. My family eats. My label eats off of the thing that I love to do every day. And you and your dumbass childish behavior are joining up with thousands of people to call me whack. Y'all don't have empathy. That's your problem. And once again, parents need to go back and let me remind you, this is the same, this youth generation is the same generation that needs a trigger warning for everything. A trigger, and once again, I am not belittling that. I think trigger warnings are a good thing. But if that is your mentality, if you are that sensitive that you need a trigger warning for everything, you cannot go up to somebody and have thousands of people call them whack and then not have empathy for why they would be upset about it. There's no, you motherfucker, I swear you're sociopaths, you motherfucker. Okay, wait.
Let me first start off by finishing a point that it looked like he was about to make. These children's parents, these kids' parents need to be shamed just as much as they do, because they're the reasons why partially that these kids are acting like this, if you ask me. Now you can say, oh, well, some parents, they've tried their best. And yes, there are some parents out there. They've done the best they can raising their children, quite honestly, quite frankly. At the end of the day, it's up to the kids. But at the same time, some of these parents, let's just be honest, failed at parenting their children. And that's why they're acting like this right now. And there's two other points I wanted to mention that I want to double down on that he said that was very important. The first point is, once again, is that some of these people out here lack empathy. And that is not something we want running amok in our society. We need to call it out vehemently, address it, and really start shaming and dragging people for having a lack of empathy and compassion. Because once again, that's not something that you want a lot of in your society. That's a horrible society to live in. That's not a habit we want cultivated in our people, especially the young people. And the second point that he made, once again, and I'm so glad he said it, this is a generation of people who, like he said, need a trigger warning for the stupidest stuff imaginable. Like, people are out here losing their jobs and getting banned from YouTube and Twitter and all these other kind of places. Well, not from Twitter, because Twitter is, we all know what Twitter is like. But anyways, they're getting banned from other social media platforms, losing their jobs, ended up in fights with people, all because they won't say a person's preferred pronoun. People are literally getting mad because, sir, we can see that you are a man, you're dressed up as a woman, and you can't force us to call you ma'am, amongst other things. Or people are getting mad because on social media, like he said, there's got to be a trigger warning letting you know, oh, this might offend you because this person is saying that there's only two genders and they don't care what anybody else thinks. And then people get into a whole war about it. Are you kidding? This is that same generation. Are you kidding me? So it's not so much that they don't have empathy. It's that they don't have empathy for other people. Because the moment it's them, like I said, they want everybody to boo-hoo for them, victim them. But anyways, on to the next.
I hate about Gen Z, and I'm saying this as a Gen Z, the whole talking shit and starting shit, and then when retaliated against turns into, oh, I'm just a little girl, I'm just a little boy. You know you're this old talking to a 12-year-old, right? Honestly, I would love to see Gen Z and how they act when they get older, like, you know, the ancient age of 30. I want to see them not clapping back at anyone online. I really want to see that, because if you could start the shit, then like you take some of it back. I'm not gonna lie, like I thought about this because of the person who was beefing with SZA in their Instagram DMs. Let me be very clear that SZA did not turn up, like, but all of a sudden it was so quick to be like, there's an imbalance here. You have 50 million followers. You're not allowed to feel anything to what I said to you. I'm so sorry. Like, girl. I don't know. It's just, I'm the last person to sit here going out of my way for people who have way different problems than us common folk. But when it makes sense, like, yes, there's 70 million people who are probably like talking shit about her every day, but she came to you as a human. She said, this hurt my feelings. Imagine someone in real life came up to you. Would you, girl, get out of my face. Like, I'm just a person with 200 followers. Makes you look really mean girlish. And I say this as someone who gets hate comments sometimes too, because I'm a pop artist. There's a certain kind of comment every now and then that are along the lines of, damn, like that kind of stung. Shameless self promo, but literally the other day someone had commented a paragraph about how like, oh, you should probably quit because I just don't think this is for you. It used to be like, that would make me pause and think about my whole entire life for a few days. But now I literally know that people, they just do this for giggles and laughs. Like, when it's through a screen, they don't really see you. Like, that's pretty much my Gen Z rant as a Gen Zer myself. A proud Gen Zer too.
You all heard it straight from this young lady's mouth. These Gen Zs out here, some of them are calling out each other, and that's how you're supposed to handle it. That's probably the best way to go about this situation, because usually they're not going to say anything unless they hear it from people that look like them, that are their same age. And I'm glad she pointed out that whole age thing. Low-key, I feel like that was like an age shame. Like, whenever she basically retaliated, which wasn't a retaliation, it was just her calling her out for what she said disrespectfully. Then she wanted to bring her age into it. Any other time, y'all be saying, oh, don't be up here age shaming somebody. You're so wrong for age shaming. But it's okay to do it when you want to absolve yourself from your accountability and play the victim, so you don't have to apologize because you're too raggedy to swallow your pride to admit you were wrong and do the right thing. That's crazy. This is wild, y'all. Also, I agree with her when she said, if you're going to be out here starting bull crap, don't be mad and shocked and have your little feelings hurt when they come back at you with the bull crap. And I also can't wait to see whenever these children grow up and they hit 30, and now they've got to be confronted with the consequences of everything they said to people when they were younger, to these people when they were in their 30s. It's going to hurt real bad. It's going to be the consequences of their actions. They're not going to be able to handle it. And they're also not going to be able to not clap back whenever somebody half their age starts some bull crap with them for no real reason. And I know this for a fact. I'm going to even tell y'all to take it to the bank and mark my words, because whatever toxic behaviors you don't nip in the bud as a young person, you will continue into your adult life. So they'll be right on the internet going back and forth at the big age of 30. You just wait. We going to remind them about all this stuff that they said. But anyways, on to the next.
And it's obviously a joke. Why was she coming after me so hard?
It's this part that shows that, like, she has no self-awareness, because there's no way you're a fan. There's no way you are a real fan of her and you're gonna act like you're upset that she addressed you personally, because it's not like she took screenshots of it and put it on her story to have people that follow her come after you. She came directly to you and you decided to bring it on the internet and air it out and say that she cursed you out. And if you were a real fan, you wouldn't have weaponized something against her that you knew she expressed she didn't like before in the past. And for her to say here, like, I'm obviously a fan, I'm a fan. You're not a fan if you're willing to say something that someone said previously hurt their feelings. And then in this whole video, she's attacking SZA's grammar and punctuation because you're not a fan. You don't feel sorry for what you did. You just feel like because she's famous, she needs to get over it. Famous people are people. They have feelings. So you don't get to just say whatever you want and then to talk about there's a power imbalance. You knew you only had 200 and something followers on your Instagram when you decided to do that and tagged her. A lot of people tag her, but there's always a chance that she's going to see your post. And this is exactly why before Doja dropped her last album, Doja Cat was saying that she does not like her fans. And she wasn't even talking about like her real fans. She's talking about people that behave just like this girl. They say, but I'm a fan, I'm a fan, I'm a fan. They think that because they say they're a fan, that excuses their poor behavior. I don't think SZA did anything wrong. Like, would I have personally, as someone that's famous, reached back out to this girl? I don't know. It really depends on how much that bothered me. And we can't say, oh, she should have just moved on, she should have just ignored it. No. Y'all have to stop acting like these people aren't real people with real feelings. And then y'all will be the first ones on here surprised when they have a mental breakdown, or surprised when they're no longer here, because y'all push these people to that. So I understand why a lot of the times when Doja Cat comes out and she's being mean, it's because y'all literally are mean to her first. And she's just responding as any human would. But y'all hold these celebrities to a different standard than yourself. You knew what you were doing, and now because SZA actually responded, she has 17. Who cares? Why'd you tag her? Because you were hoping that she might see it. And you call yourself a fan, but you're willing to do something that could potentially harm them. That doesn't sound like a fan to me.
And it don't sound like a fan to me either. I've already said that, but like I said, to have somebody double down on it is also good. And I'm glad she brought up the point of the mental health. See, these people, they go so far, they push these celebrities, they do dumb stuff like this, like I said multiple times, knowing that they don't like this stuff, and then want to be shooketh when these celebrities are trying to off themselves, when they then expose in these interviews and these little sessions that they thought about offing themselves, that they do actually off themselves. They end up on substances. They want to act all shooketh, and some of them don't even act shooketh. They just don't even care. That's how much the lack of empathy actually runs for these people, how deep it runs for some of these cuckoo people on the internet. But anyways, we're moving on to the next video.
Click on this comment, ignore the comment itself, but just click on it and watch the video. The original person who posted the video that this person commented on it basically made a video talking about how they made a meme about SZA, posted it on Instagram, tagged SZA, and got mad that SZA responded. First of all, I just want to say, literally shame on you, because you try to place yourself at the center of victimhood when all she did was comment on it and say how that meme stems a lot of like anxiety and emotional distress for her, and that you should take it down. And then in the DMs further explains via dialogue how it hurt her and that it wasn't really cool. And instead you centered yourself as a fucking victim for no reason. You tried to victimize yourself talking about power imbalance when it was a private dialogue that you chose to share to the world for no reason. Ultimately, SZA did nothing wrong, and she literally was just being honest and open about her feelings and expressing how what you did, regardless of whether or not you thought it was just a meme and that it's not that deep. She's expressing how it was deep to her, and it was more than a meme to her because it stems from years of emotional abuse from her fucking weird ass fans that do weird shit like that. You participated in bullying her, yet suddenly it's a power imbalance because she's older than you and has millions more followers than you. You chose to bully her. You are not above critique from anybody. Anything you put on the internet is subject to critique, and especially when you purposely tagged her in it thinking it was a joke. All she did was show you that the shit was not funny, and you're trying to make it seem like it's some gotcha moment, like you're eating her up, when in reality, you're just showing that you're a fucking asshole. Like, you're literally an asshole. Like, I don't know what to tell you. And then you're trying to explain yourself. There is no explaining yourself. She told you to take it down. Okay, even if you took it down, she just tried to literally explain in the DMs why what you said was impactful on her in a negative way. And instead, you choose to share it for the internet, to all the internet to see, when you were just talking about how she has all these followers, so it wasn't cool that she could potentially be exposing you to harm's way with her following, but you chose to use what little following you have to kind of bring shame to SZA over her having a dialogue about what you did wrong and how it impacts her as an artist. If you really were a SZA fan, you would have took it down, apologized, and let her have her dialogue and had a productive conversation. But instead, you try to get defensive, accuse her of sending her fucking friend after you, and literally just victimize yourself when you are the bully. You're the perpetrator. Regardless of her age, regardless of her following, you got on the internet and you bullied her. So once again, why make yourself the victim? Why use this for some weird type of clout? If you just were talking about how her following, like, she could easily have her following come and attack you, but instead you chose to make a video about her. That's really weird, and it's giving clout chaser. And if I were her, I would be petty. I would find who you are and block you from never being allowed to come to her concert ever again, because you just did way too much over something that was so stupid. You didn't have to post that. Like, you don't have to participate in every trend. That shit is hurtful. If somebody called me whack after I made an amazing body of work, regardless of whether or not I received the proper accolades, it's a body of work that I'm sensitive to. It's a part of my heart that I'm giving to the world. And you call that shit whack? That shit's not funny. That's like somebody calling your mom whack. Or you whack. Telling your mom she's fucking whack for making you. Your mom would be mad as fuck. You would be mad as fuck. Like, just because you're one single entity doesn't mean that you are above critique from your peers, from your role models, from your icons. Like, or not. Like, some people deserve shame, and I'm sorry. She shamed you good. Hell, I want to shame you good. Because she didn't deserve that. That shit was corny as fuck. And once again, this just goes to show the problem with fucking stan culture, meme culture. Like, y'all be corny as fuck and think that your actions don't have consequences. Your actions do have consequences, babes. She ate you up in the DMs. She really didn't even eat you up. She really was just explaining her feelings to you and how it hurt her feelings. And said, I find it problematic that you try to call her out for being a bully when she didn't even bully you. Like, if you want to see a real bully, she could have easily posted you on her main, had all her fans attack you, and don't say nothing. But no, you just brought this to the world's attention. Because you want clout. Shame on you. Do better.
I told y'all we should bring back shaming people, especially when it comes to very toxic behaviors that can spread like wildfire, like what this girl did. We need to shame her. And anybody else, for that matter, that thinks this kind of behavior will be tolerated or is acceptable, because it won't be, and it's not. And once again, he pointed out, how dare she fix her raggedy mouth to cry about somebody finishing some mess that she chose to start. Once again, she chose to leak those DMs. SZA did not put those DMs out for the public to see. If she wanted her fans to go after that girl, I'm sure she would have done that, because like I said before, celebrities have done that before, but she didn't, although this girl is the one who did that. So she literally caused her own smoke. Actions will always have consequences. I say this all the time on the channel, but these people are going to learn one way or the other one. But anyways, on to the next
after
video.
me for a meme. I didn't mean it. It was literally SZA. So I sent a message back that was like, "Why you're 15 years older than me? Why are you coming after me?"
I'm just a baby.
But you still had to say, "Okay, mom."
I'm just a baby.
That was a very short, sweet, and simple rendition, representation, if you will, of what this Maya girl was really on, some bullcrap that she was on. It's giving entitled, it's giving privilege, and it's also giving too stupid, too disrespectful, and too immature to realize the weight of her actions and hold herself accountable for said actions. But we're going to help her get real smart real fast. We're going to help her learn some maturity and some RESPECT. Social media will gather her all the way up and help her learn some common sense and some self-accountability. Now this next one I can't play the music on because it has music from TikTok and ain't nobody trying to get a YouTube strike, but she did put the words on the screen. Basically, like I said, summarizing the most confusing and annoying part of all this, whenever SZA tried to explain to her the importance of, the word, the phrase, the hashtag, the meme, if you will, why it hurt, why it was disrespectful to her, why she didn't want her to use it. Instead of using common sense and seeing what she did wrong and apologizing for it, she just made herself out to be the victim. Like I said before, this is a wild, wild world we live in.
I didn't mean it.
We'll be forgetting sometimes that celebrities are human beings as well. They have emotions, they have feelings just as us, regular people. So when you try to disrespect them or belittle them or make them feel bad about themselves, of course they're gonna clap back if they can. You say that you're a fan, right? So why not respect the person that you're fanning over about and listen to them when they said that something that you posted about them is disrespectful to them? Why not respect their wishes and just take it down? Why wait until it blew up and then she comments under your post and inbox you, and now you understand it, now you're gonna take it down? It's weird. Stop treating celebrities like they're robots and start treating them like they're human beings, because they have feelings and emotions. That's it, that's all.
Once again, doubling down on the fact that these people, these celebrities, are people. They are humans. They have human feelings. Just because they have money does not mean you should be able to disrespect them and say whatever. And you also shouldn't have to be one of their fans, one of their actual fans, not these crazy bullies on the internet, to say something in response to some really messed up stuff that people do to them and say to them. But anyways,
Why are you coming after me for a meme? I didn't mean it. It was literally SZA. So I sent a message back that was like, "Why you're 15 years older than me? Why are you coming after me?"
That right there, what she just said, grinds my gears. And we're going to talk about it, okay? Because here's the thing, you teenagers just lurking on the internet, you need to understand something. That if you're going to willingly choose to bat in somebody's league, then you better not be shocked when that person chooses to throw you a curveball. I'm very sporty spice right now. But seriously, the number of times that I have seen the most vile, hateful, disgusting, just bullying type comments on TikTok and on Instagram, it's always from like these young teenagers. The moment that the person they're being mean to claps back and says, hey, like, can you like not be mean to me? It's always, aren't you like 15 years older than me? Why are you even responding to me? How weird are you? Like, scary. Like the manipulation, the gaslighting, terrifying. And we have like age limits for social media apps for a reason, because some of y'all are just, you don't know how to handle yourselves on the internet. You don't know how to act with decorum, okay? And this is a perfect example. So for those of you who don't know what's going on, this random person who's apparently super young and a teenager, blah, 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 posted some joke about SZA, who's like a famous singer, and it was kind of an offensive joke, and SZA took issue with it. So SZA privately messaged this person and was like, hey, like, that's not okay what you said about me. SZA is in her 30s and she is famous. Okay, she's also still a human being, and when you post something on the internet about anybody, no matter who they are and how famous they are, and it offends them, they have every right to reach out to you and say, hey, that offended me and that wasn't okay. Like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. And just because you're, 18 years old, that does not absolve you from the consequences of your actions. It's so ironic because you guys literally sound like the boomers who you are constantly talking shit about, and rightfully so, because it'll be like, you know how boomers will say the most offensive things, or they'll like bully a cashier. And then when the person defends themselves and is like, hey, you can't treat me that way, it's always, respect your elders. How dare you tell me I can't treat you that way? I'm 65 years old. I have earned the right to disrespect you. Like, that's how you sound. You sound incredibly insufferable. Sorry. So stop. If you're going to get on the internet and post mean things, the person might see it, even if they're famous. And now you know. Don't be an asshole, period.
I ain't never played baseball a day in my natural life, but I do appreciate that baseball reference that he did use, and I agree 100% with what he said and how he used it. It really do be these kids out here, these teenagers that get on the internet and fix their raggedy mouth sometimes to say some really atrocious things to people, especially grown adults, then have the audacity to try to fall back on their youth and say that that was an excuse to justify what they said. No, little sir, no, little ma'am. You being young does not excuse stupidity, immaturity, or disrespect. It needs to be the same young people that get mad when the older people use that same excuse for being disrespectful to them. So very interesting how it all comes full circle at the end of the day. But anyways,
I want to know when it became socially acceptable to be an asshole. We live in a time where people want you to be empathetic of their triggers, their trauma, whatever they're going through, their financial struggles or whatever. But they don't want to extend any compassion, empathy, or consideration for another human being. I said this before, everybody seems like they have main character syndrome, so they treat everyone else in their life like extras, and that's not right. Some of you may have seen that video of that young girl basically antagonizing SZA, thinking that she was in the right for being a gaslighting narcissist. And I don't even like using those terms, but that's what that is. It's textbook gaslighting narcissistic behavior. And then if SZA went on to do something to harm herself, God forbid, everybody would be saying, be kind to people. You never know what their internal struggles are. You never know what someone is battling on. Check on your strong friends, yada, yada, yada. Folks just be talking. They just be talking, and they want any piece of relevancy that they can get their little raggedy hands on. I just want the world to get back to a basic level of kindness and humanity. That's all. That's all. The same way that you have a life and you have people that you care about and you have your own personal struggles and inhibitions, every other person that exists on the planet has that same thing going on with them. So I'm just saying, let's give each other a little grace and the same consideration and the same empathy that we not only desire but demand and expect from other people. Let's give that out. That's all I'm saying.
I really do like listening to Erica Lachey, that's who you just heard speaking in this previous video. I really do like listening to her speak on these issues and the topics that happen in society, on social media, etc. because she really be dropping some truth nuggets. Like, I don't know if y'all really be listening, but she really do be dropping some truth nuggets. She really does tackle these issues and put some really good advice out there. And that's more of what we need. You know, she comes from a very mature and responsible mindset and standing. Like I said, we need more of that. And I completely agree with everything that she said. And on to our final video of the day.
Exactly.
She's 15 years older than you, and if you'd have stayed your ass out of grown folk business, then you'd have been okay. But nah, like a lot of you young motherfuckers, y'all think that there's no consequences to whatever you do. And then when there is consequences, I'm just a kid, you're being mean, you're bullying. Y'all start shit and then be mad when people finish shit. Like, you understand, connected to the internet is the real world. It's still real people behind. Everybody ain't a bot. It's still real people behind these accounts. And when you get up here talking crazy and talking reckless, you think everybody just gonna back down or laugh it off? Man, fuck that. Listen, somebody jumped on, I made a video and somebody jumped on my video and said, I said, what the video, I was like, that's a dusty take. And it was like, your lips dusty. I'm sorry. It was just crazy out of nowhere. It's like, your lips dusty. And you should have checked your face before you made a video. And so me being me, I jumped back in and I was like, yo, you calling me ugly? I just looked at your profile. Shmigo won his face back. And then boom, I got a account warning and the video got taken down. Now, here's the thing. You talk shit and then couldn't handle the clap back. And it got me a violation off of you talking shit. And that's the kind of world that we got right now, man. So I'm not mad at all. She should have got at your ass. You was a little kid in grown folk business, and then you got grown folk results. And now you look, oh, what happened? No, stay your ass in your place. Stay in a child's place like you're supposed to be. There's a reason why a lot of parents will say shit like, stay out my mouth or stay in a child's place, because y'all don't know what the hell y'all doing, and y'all doing kid shit, but then you can't handle when you do kid shit with adults and get adult results, okay? I didn't mean to rhyme like that. I'm just nice like that. But anyways, you was talking shit, you got called out, and then you try to be a victim. That's corny. And that's a problem that I think really needs to be alleviated throughout not just the internet, but the world. People be talking crazy, and then when somebody roll up on them or run down on them or press them about it, now all of a sudden they shook. Now all of a sudden they this, they that. Now all of a sudden they the victim. You know what I'm saying? That shit happened to me personally. I was like, they started with me. They called my lips dusty. They told, you know what I'm saying? Like, they called my video sassy. They could just say that and that don't happen. What happens? Nah, baby girl, you got what you was looking for. You thought it was cute. You thought it was cheeky. You thought it was funny. You thought it was going to be some clicks and likes. And then SZA came and blew your ass up and told you like, yo, you a kid in grown folk business. Stay in your place, and you ain't like it. You're 15 years older than me. Exactly. So you should have shut your ass up, enjoyed the concert, and then left it alone. That's it. And if you're not a fan, why are you even there? Come on, man. Again, stay at a kid's place, and you kids will be okay.
100% agreed. Just like the guy before him said, these children come up here, they come up into grown folks' spaces, grown folks' faces, and they make these remarks and these comments, and they want to be real disrespectful. But then when these grown folks return grown folks' energy at them, they want to say, oh, I'm just a kid, why are you coming at me? No, you threw that in the trash when you decide to sit your raggedy behind on the internet and be disrespectful to an adult. Like he said, if you're going to have the balls almighty to sit up on the internet and be disrespectful towards an adult, you better be ready for that adult smoke. Learn the key 3 words that I've been saying throughout this entire video: maturity, self-accountability, and respect. And everybody will be just fine. If we can apply those 3 things, we can take ourselves a very long way and make our society something great. But anyways, y'all let me know what y'all think and how y'all feel down in the comments below respectfully. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Y'all have a blessed day.